Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Side Hustle Seattle. I'm back on my roof deck again, so you may hear some background noise. Hopefully it'll stay to a minimum. But anyway, my name is Kaale. If you didn't get a chance to watch my first video, just in summary, I'm gonna be trying different side hustles every 28 days to see what works, what doesn't, what's worth your time. And I decided to start with Amazon Mechanical Turk. Sorry, I had to get out the sun a little bit. It was glaring like directly in my eyes. Anyways, I decided to start with Amazon Mechanical Turk. So just the basics of what it is. Essentially, there's requesters, who are people requesting tasks, and there's workers, people willing to do the tasks, and they'll put them on this forum. You can click to accept the work and they'll pay you for it. That's just the general overview of it. I'll go more into it in a second. But I spent the whole first day just doing like a lot of research on kind of what to expect, so I didn't go into it completely blind. So I watched a lot of YouTube videos, read a lot of blogs, and everybody kind of said the same thing, which is one, it will not replace your day job. This is more of something you can do to make an extra $20, $40, $100 a month, depending on how much work you put into it. Two is that it's not available in every country. So I know the US, the UK, Canada, it is available in. So just know if you're outside of that, you may not be able to sign up. I'm not sure which countries are restricted, so you may want to do your own research into that. Another one is that you start off kind of slow. So you're not going to qualify for everything right in the beginning. The more work you do, the more you kind of get your reputation up, and then you'll qualify for things that pay a little bit better or maybe are a little bit easier. So just be aware in the beginning, it is a little bit slow. And then also, like, do not get scammed. So you should not be giving any sort of like PII, which is like personal identifying information, out to anybody. So you shouldn't be giving full name, full email, phone number, credit card information, social security number, any of that out. So make sure that you do not get scammed. And there was a lot of like blogs and stuff that recommended different toolbars or different forums to follow in order to help with your journey. But I want to kind of start off like just bare basics. So I didn't do any of those this week. Maybe I'll try it my second week. But anyway, let's get into the video. All right, so forgive my sound, it's gonna be a little echo in here, but go ahead and just type Amazon Mechanical Turk into your web browser. That should bring up the first result, which is MTurk.com. Go ahead and click on that. Now, the page is just going to give you some basic information if you want to read through it, but all we're going to do is just go ahead and click Get Started with Amazon Mechanical Turk. Now, that's going to bring up two different things. You can either create a requester account if you want people to do tasks for you, or a worker account to do the task, which is what we're going to do. So when you get on the page, you'll see a bunch of information, but essentially hit groups are all the different tasks that you can do. If you look on the right side, you can see accept and work. Those are the ones you can do right away, so you already qualify for. The ones that have that little like lock and say qualify, you don't qualify for them yet, but you can click on them and see why you don't. And then you can also request to try to get that qualification. A lot of times, the reason you don't qualify is because you haven't done enough tasks yet. But you can request qualification if you'd like to see if you can qualify. You can also click preview, which is on the right side, so you can actually see what the task entails before you accept it. That way you're not just like accepting tasks that you don't already like. So like in this case, they're just looking to see if you can find personal web pages of various people. So if you don't want to do it, you can just click skip, or you can just return back. Okay, so your hitch queue, if you're in the middle of doing the work and you kind of exit out of it, you can go to your queue to get back into it. And your dashboard gives you pretty much the basic overview of everything. So it tells you how many hits you've done, how many have been approved, rejected, how many are pending. And pending just means you've submitted the work, but the person who requested the work hasn't reviewed to make sure that you've done it correctly. You can also see how much money that you've made and how much has already been transferred to your bank. So I'll show you how to do the transfers to your bank and everything else. So you can go to your earnings. So you can see that I already had $4.99 transferred to my bank on the 17th. I've requested for transfers every 3 days, but you can go to payment preferences. I'm just covering up my personal information. You can either have it transferred to a bank account, or you can have it transferred to an Amazon gift card, and you can do it in 3, 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, 60 days, however you want it to be transferred over. So your qualifications, again, this just tells you kind of how you are as a worker. So how many you've done, how many have been approved, etc. Because your qualifications to do certain tasks will be based off this. But if you've requested for a qualification that you don't have, that will be in the pending qualifications field. The thing about it, I actually don't understand how they go about getting you the qualification. So I just requested qualification for everything that I saw that I wanted to do. But I'm not really sure what's going to determine if they give me it or not. All right, so let's just go through and try the first one to see how that is. So we'll go accept and work. Okay, so for this one, you're pretty much just downloading some PDFs. It does give you a YouTube link, so that way you can see how you go about actually doing it. So we'll put that in the browser. And it'll show you just a basic overview. So you're supposed to go in, click these links, download them. So we go into the thing, click that you're not a robot, get the manual. I'll be honest, I didn't love this one, only because I don't really like downloading random stuff to my computer, just in case it's malware. But I went ahead and tried it because it was my very first one. So I downloaded it, and essentially it just wants you to go back and do that 10 times. So I went back, did it to the second one. The second one actually had me end up doing a CAPTCHA, which is easy. You just follow the instructions on the CAPTCHA itself. To click for taxis, none, and then traffic lights. So you just go through, and that's just to make sure that you're not using a bot to do all of these things. And then download. So I'm going to speed it up a little bit because you don't need to see me do this 10 times. You get it. I'll go ahead and just speed it up. All right, so I've done the 10th one. Now it's time for me to actually go and submit. So I'll click submit. And it looks like there was a problem with me submitting it. I'm not sure why. I look at the instructions and I think I did it right. So I just went back to my hit queue and see if I can go back into it to see if that would clear it up, almost refreshing. So I went back. As you can see, it's purple. So it shows that I went through all of these different links. And I went to submit again, and still nothing. So I did all that time, downloaded all this stuff that's probably messing up my computer, and still didn't get anything. So I just said, forget it, and that I'll just move on to some other stuff. So I previewed a different one that just wanted you to find different job titles and LinkedIn's and information about different C-suites and VPs within a company. So I just accepted that and see if I wanted to do that one. So I needed to find the digital director, the CEO of this random company website. So I clicked it, and I don't really know about this one. It's a little odd. So I clicked the website, and it's not a U.S. website. So I actually don't know what country this is. I apologize, guys. But I just went, looks like Portuguese. And then I went and flipped it over to English, searched the website a little bit, tried to find some different contacts for the people they were asking me to look for, the name of the C-suites and everything else. Couldn't find it. And so I just said, forget it. All right, so I decided to just go back and try a different one. So I tried this one from James Billing, which is for 1 cent, just survey. So when I clicked in it, it actually was for 5 cents for 9 minutes, which was great. So then I went to start task, asked me some basic questions. I went and clicked something random like transportation. Okay. So, I'm sure it's going to ask me some question about current events or some product. So after I finished it, I just went and clicked through the rest of it to thank you for completing it. Awesome. It refreshed, and it told me that I had made the 5 cents, which was awesome. Now, you do have to go back. You have to go back into actual your MTurk's account and complete the hit, because that does not necessarily end it there. So you go back in and you complete the hit. And that's really the end of it. And the good thing is you can go and auto-accept these. So if you want to just stay on surveys, you can keep going back to back. Now, my game for this week was to just stick with the surveys. They've been the easiest, they've been the most consistent. And the cool thing about it, even though it says it's only 1 cent, you actually end up getting more once you click into it. So go to accept and work. Now you can change those amount of time that you have. You can say you have 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and that changes the length of the survey that they give you. There's also different prices. So like I said, even though I said 1 cent, this one's actually for 7 cents. And the cool thing, what you'll see at the end, is you get bonuses for a lot of these things. So it ends up being even more than 7 cents. So you can go and start tasks. Like for this one, I got $1.75 bonus. So it ended up being a lot more. And you'll just get an email to whatever your account is set up as, letting you know about the bonus. All right, so if I go back to my dashboard, this is what I have made as of Saturday of my first week. So I've done 46 hits, 39 have been approved, 7 are pending acceptance. So I'm waiting on those. Hopefully those will clear in the next 2 days to give me a little bit extra. But you can see I started off really slow, only making 64 cents. That's because I was doing a bunch of different tasks that didn't really add up. That's why I stuck with the surveys. Then I slowly but surely got better. And like I said, the surveys are great because you almost always get a bonus. So it ends up being a lot more than you think they're going to be. They're only like 10 to 15 minutes. So highly suggest those. All right, so after all of that hard work, I made a grand total of $9.30. So there's still some hits that are pending approval, so hopefully those will get approved in the next couple of days, and that'll give me a little bit more money. But overall, it came up to about $1 an hour. I typically spend about 2 hours a day doing it on my commute to and from work, which was nice. I wasn't doing anything anyway, but hopefully that kind of gives you a sense of how much money you could actually make, especially as a beginner. If you have any tips, if you have any tricks that I can use, if there's certain hits you want to see me do for my second week, please let me know. Otherwise, I will check back in with you guys next week to show you my progress.